everybody, welcome back to the Flannel channel. I'm Philip, I'm glad you're here. This gorgeous Peterbilt 389 belongs to my buddy Nick. This truck works really hard. I pinstriped it for him 2 years ago, and it's time for a refresh because just being out in the elements and getting hit with pressure washer and bug guts and rock chips and 300,000 miles starts to kind of wear things out. So it's time to redo the pinstriping for him, and I'm going to bring you along on my process of what I'm doing different on this particular design and why. And yeah, so should be a fun episode. I hope you check it out with me. Let's jump in. So if you haven't watched the first episode, I'll put a link to it right here, and you can see some of the designs that I did on the backs of his fuel tanks and up along the vents, on the painted breathers and around the Peterbilt logo. And we've decided that it's time to do a little bit something different. If you're interested in how I take the old pinstriping off, I've made some videos about that as well, and I'll put a link right here and you can watch that as well. One of the biggest changes is this piece right here, and so you really wouldn't be able to see it, and it would be tough for me to get in there and put a design on the back of the tank anyway. So yeah, so I spent a couple hours this morning just removing all the old striping. You can make out, if you get right up next to it, you can see that I left a couple of centering marks because I'm going to put a new design on there. It is a little bit UV faded. We did not use any buffing compounds or anything like that on the paint, but it came off pretty nice and I'm pleased with it. So that's a little bit of the backstory. Nick takes really good care of his truck. It's a gorgeous piece. Nick drives for Rethwisch, and this is his office. Really cool truck, almost 300,000 on it, and yeah, good stuff. All right, so I'm not going to make a how-to video here necessarily, but this is some of what I work with. Like always, I use Alpha 6 enamels for all of my stuff, and the two colors that I'm going to go with today are Alpha Ivory and Alpha Gray. And I do mix a little bit of their hardener in with it. Use some reducer and a little bit of flow enhancer as well. But I'm not going to get super techie with you guys on how to do that. Surface prep, I go over it with a little bit of a light acetone just to get all the waxes and everything off the paint. I want this to last, but like I was saying in the intro, you know, sometimes, especially if it gets hit point blank with a pressure washer, there's plenty of truck washes, and I'm not gonna necessarily blame Blue Beacon or anything like that. That's not my place to start throwing shade, but sometimes pinstriping does take a beating, and that's just the nature of it. So I wanna try and put my designs in a way that, and in an area where it's a little bit less likely to get beat up and hit. And also, we're going to try and protect this with some ceramic coating that Nick's going to do after the paint has had a time to cure and off gas and things like that. Now, there's plenty of pinstripers that would want their work to be buried in clear coat, and that is definitely an option. You can do that. I've had plenty of guys that want to clear coat over the top of my striping. And I'm not, again, going to get into the technicality of what's involved in doing that, but in this situation, we're dealing with a really hard clear coat that Peterbilt tends to have. And so yeah, I want it to last, I want it to look good, I want it to stand up, but you can't expect miracles either at the same time. So that's my goal, is to make my striping paint bite into the paint and really adhere well and not come off too easy. And yeah, should be cool. So I'm happy with that. Gonna give it one more little wipe down. That's a centering mark for me. I'm gonna set up some time lapse so you guys can follow along. I love Nick's style. It's less is more, simple watermelons, glass, flat tops. Very, very cool truck. And he takes really good care of it. All right, let's jump in. I'm just gonna start mixing up some paint. All right, a big part of what I do beforehand is surface prep and just laying out some guidelines to help me. And The whole goal is to try and keep symmetry. And this is one of the tools that I really like a lot because you can lay it on there and just use a pencil like that is safe on the paint. And that way I can know exactly where I want to put my lines and try and keep symmetry through my entire design. Not only on this design, but side to side on the truck. See that gold flake? Isn't that beautiful paint? Love that. So I'm going to be using something that matches the gray and the ivory. And I may do something around the door handles a little bit as well. But this side's design is going to be quite a bit taller because it's the tall door. And on this side, I'll do something similar, but it's not going to be identical because we're going to be going on the shorter door. Nick gave me complete control of what I wanted to do and where, and if you saw last video, I did something up there and backside of the tanks and stuff like that, but we're gonna do things a little different this time. I love painted air cleaners though. They're one of my favorite things on the truck. I just think they're really cool vintage style. So anyway, all right. I think I'm gonna start with gray first, but we'll be swapping back and forth between gray and ivory quite a bit. I'll probably keep both colors wet and just start paletting. I pellet all my stuff on old magazines and that works the best for me. I like to use colors that are pre-mixed so I don't have to do any tinting, but just in case I needed to, I did bring some black and some white in case I needed to make any color adjustments, but I don't think so. I think Alpha Gray and Alpha Ivory that I used last time worked awesome. My brush, my preferred brush anyway, is a MAC, Mr. OZ, Mr. Oz, and I believe this one is a 3.0 or a 4.0, I don't remember. It's worn off so much. Mineral spirits for cleaning my brush out. And what I might do is once I start getting the ratios that I want, I'll start mixing it in Dixie cups. That seems to work quite well also. All right, and we're gonna use some reducer. I'm gonna use low temp reducer. We're still in the mid 60s for temperature, so I don't think I need the high temp stuff for today. We're not out in direct sunlight or anything. We're not in the wind. Really nice conditions today. I'm truly grateful for that and for the use of the shop here today. All right. Paletting really is just a feel thing. It's probably really boring to watch, and you don't need me to give you a bunch of voiceover on it, but what I'm going for is the proper amount of feel and drag in my brush. As I pull it, I want the right consistency of paint. It's one of the challenges of striping is that the medium, the paint itself, is constantly changing, constantly drying and getting stickier, and brush conditions change, weather conditions change, if you're in a crowd, things like that. It's one of the frustrating parts, but it's also one of the challenges that makes it really satisfying when it works well. we are so far. I'm gonna apologize right now for the audio and for the lighting a little bit. My wireless microphones quit working, and it's tough for me to film because I keep jumping from one side of the truck to the other, back and forth. And so, yeah, just gonna keep building the designs, and little by little. And I'm fighting with the memory on my phone because it keeps glitching out on me. So, technology, you know. All right, time to add some more in here. I'm proud of that. Happy with how that turned out. And yeah. The white will wipe off. I want to let the paint dry and cure. I'll just tell Nick to go over it with a little bit of glass cleaner. Be gentle with it. Those white lines will come right off. Yeah. And here's the biggest piece. You always sign your work. Right, so there we go. Again, I'm gonna apologize for the poor audio quality with my microphone failing on me like that, but thanks for coming along on this video. It's fun to do, and again, this is not intended to be a how-to and to teach everybody how to pinstripe on their own. I do have videos that are more geared that direction, but I just wanted to bring you along on a fun Saturday. So anyway, I'm gonna clean up my mess and move this truck over, pull that silver Kenworth inside the shop here, and head for home, get a shower. I also need to get home and edit because this needs to go up. Anyway, thanks for supporting the channel, everybody. I truly appreciate it, and I couldn't do what I love to do without you guys. I'll see you on the next video. Peace and grease.